Black Americans are 35 times more likely to be in prison than Africans living in Ghana. One of our development partners in Ghana told me this, and I honestly didn't believe him, but the numbers all checked out, and I'm wondering, what is wrong with America? So let's talk about it. The numbers are actually staggering. Ghana has a similar population to Americans of African descent, but get this, there are an estimated 500,000 black people in prison in America. Want to take a guess at what Ghana's prison population is? It's 13,000. That is 13,000 out of nearly 35 million Ghanaians. And while this prison culture disproportionately impacts black Americans, people of European descent aren't really safe from the American prison system. White Americans are 500% more likely to be in prison in America than an African living in Ghana. At some point, Americans need to admit that this is a problem. Ghana is a safer country than America. They enforce the laws. They just haven't turned incarceration into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Did you know most of the prison industry in America is corporately run, and that private equity firms who invest in this industry are demanding year-on-year growth? Does it make sense now why American prisons encourage drugs, gangs, and violence among inmates? Do you see why weapons and narcotics can magically make it into maximum security facilities? These things lead to more criminal charges, and more charges lead to more prison time, which means higher quarterly earnings for the private equity firms that run the prisons. This obviously doesn't happen in Ghana, but could you imagine how the UN would react if an African nation started imprisoning hundreds of thousands of people so that their ministers could make money off their own citizens' incarceration? We would probably have binding resolutions and military interventions planned and televised fundraisers where celebrities would plead with us to raise awareness about this terrible injustice. But instead, Americans just kind of accept that the country claiming to be the freest of the world also has the most prisoners in the world. But I don't think people are going to tolerate this much longer. More and more people are realizing that they have options and that they can move to parts of the world which are safer for them and their family and don't have this prison culture. Ghana, for instance, has the right of abode, where anyone of African descent automatically qualifies for permanent residency and eventual citizenship. In a couple months from watching this video, you could be living on the beach in Ghana with permanent residency instead of worrying about America's problems. In fact, thousands of Americans are taking either early retirement or switching to remote jobs so that they can live in Ghana and enjoy a much higher standard of living than what is possible in modern America. So if you're interested in exploring such a move, check out our options on roarsteamafrica.com and schedule a free consultation. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think the high prison population is the result of America being tough on crime, or would you agree with me that having private prison ownership has incentivized a prison culture? And is moving countries to avoid this problem too extreme of a measure, or is it something that more Americans should consider? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if this video brought value to you, give me a like and a follow. That really helps out my channel, and I'll see you on the next video, or maybe I'll see you on the beaches of Accra where we can ask ourselves, why didn't we make this move sooner? Take care, guys.